Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, here we go. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. We have a little bit of a break between, the regular show that we do and then putting this on here, go through your emails and take times for a potty break and all that stuff. And I finally got a chance to go out and go take a pee. And, oh, man. Don't you just hate it when you're in a public bathroom and you walk in there and somebody is taking the worst dump?
Oh. Yes, and it happens quite regularly here at this station.
It was just, I mean, and there's nothing I can do, and I'm there, and now I kind of know a little bit more of the science behind it. Hey, I mean, these are molecules. This is basically pixie shit dust. It's flying through the air that I'm breathing in. I mean, if you can smell it, and I can almost taste it.
Poo particles.
It's
poo particles.
And I'm just like, have we not evolved enough in this society yet? Why the hell? I hope we get to a place where you're like, the public bathrooms, why do we ever do that? Like, why am I in the same room with somebody that's taking a dump and I'm breathing in their...
You're 2 feet away from his shit party.
The other thing, too, collectively, across the board, nobody that goes in that bathroom agrees with the piss mat. Everyone thinks it's disgusting. No one goes, we need more piss mats.
No.
It's one of the grossest things.
I don't get why you'd have something that's going to trap the urine...
If there was a vote,
just mop the damn floor every night, right?
But I've done the research, Virginia. I've talked to people in the hallways. Nobody thinks the piss mat's a good idea.
I don't know about the piss mat.
Oh, we've talked about it before.
I know, but I don't understand it.
It's gross. It's right underneath the urinal. What could go wrong with that?
Yeah, I just don't get what we're doing here.
Kevin's right.
It doesn't feel right. And so, yeah, I mean, I was just in there trying not to breathe the entire time.
Did you get the pee?
And I ran out. Yeah, I mean, I finished up and then I ran out. And I used the hand sanitizer because honestly, on top of it too, our hand soap smells like rust. There's something up with it. And I can't even stand smelling my hands after it. So I run out, I come in here and use hand sanitizer now.
You're making Bird choke out.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, there's also, and again, I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but we've got what I like to call grunters. We've got some people that are not real shy about doing their business in there.
Yeah. It's just, they weren't making any noises, and honestly, by the smell, they could have been dead. I'm not sure that they weren't.
What did you eat?
It's unbelievable. And then, you know what happens, too, is like, I came in here, and now I'm like, okay, if I smell that, I feel like I smell like that shit.
It's on you.
Yes. I keep smelling it. It's like your nose has a memory, and I'm just like, I can't. Virginia had to bring over some of her fancy perfume. I had to smell because I couldn't get it out of my nose.
Well, thank you, first of all, for being so brave and telling your story.
My truth.
I know that wasn't easy to do.
My truth.
Did you look at the shoes?
No, I didn't even get, because I chose the urinal closest to the door, and I didn't want to get any closer to it, so I tried to distance myself as much as physically possible.
Sometimes you just gotta look at the shoes, make a mental note, and then if you ever go to walk in again and you see those shoes, you turn right around.
I wouldn't even have to get that far, because as soon as I open the door, I'm like, whoa, my gosh.
It's a wall of ass.
Oh, there's kind of an unwritten rule around these parts. You never go in that bathroom past 8:45. You can't. It's the Wild Wild West.
The salespeople's coffee kicks in.
Yeah.
And I feel like a few of those guys on that sales force are a little too loose with their stool.
Well, I don't feel like I have a lot of other options on it.
You don't.
I had to pee. So.
Well, you're basically in a terrorist situation
Well,
here.
we could do this. I could block the women's restroom while you go in there and pee.
You know what they need to do is they need to have an alarm. If you're in there dropping a deuce.
Like a lunk alarm.
There should be a red light that is right out front of the bathroom so you can see it. Okay, nope. All right, somebody's in there taking a dump. I'm not going in.
Yeah, he's in mid-dump. Let him do his thing.
Make it a brown light.
If you're going in to take something, as soon as you go in there and as soon as your brown buddy hits the bowl, like a light should come on to warn people that, hey, just to let you know there is some turd dust in the air.
And I get it. We all do it. But there's some people who really have zero problem doing whatever they got to do. Hey, what's up, Kev? And they're just doing their bullshit in there, and they could care less.
I do it. You do it. We all do it. But I'll tell you, it's rare that somebody else smells my duty. That's just what I do.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to have to put my scent out there in the world, especially not at work where I have to look at these people and they know my shoes.
I just don't get.
If I have to poo at work, it's all gone wrong.
And I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here. I just don't get the one dude every single day at 8:45. He walks from the elevator right into there. It's like, you just came from home. You're home.
Right.
Why can't you poo at Starbucks?
I don't know. People are saying we're poop shaming, and perhaps we are.
Well, that's what happens when you walk into a wall of ass meat and you have to smell it. And then you have to decontaminate your friend who feels like he has it on his shirt.
It does feel like kind of
like I first thing I do when I go home, I'm showering and burning these clothes.
You should. Can you do that on
And
social
it's got a
media?
cross on it too, which I hate to do it. Sorry, Jesus.
He understands,
He
Kevin.
does. And he forgives you, and he's also mad at that guy in there doing that.
Make no mistake, Kevin's he's upset right now.
He should
I mean,
be.
I was so shook. I was shook.
I think it did something. I think it moved your hair a little
It's
bit.
not right.
I'm rattled.
And now you see why I've been rallying for years for 4 walls or 3 walls and a door.
Yeah.
Because I want this self-contained unit that nobody else can walk into your shit. And I
Right.
know you flush it and there still might be an air of shit in there afterwards. But at least you don't have 2 people standing 2 feet from each other and shit particles.
You can't see Kevin's face because the computer blocks you. It's nothing short of disgusted.
I know. I felt
It's
the pain.
honestly, yeah.
When I went over there to give him some perfume, he's sad.
rattled.
He's got
yeah.
such judgmental, and I get it.
Yeah.
He's rattled. He's down and out.
Well, and Abner has a good point. It's like, hey, bud, how about a courtesy flush? And I actually crossed my mind. I was like, dude, really? I'm like, there's no way you did that.
And on a holiday weekend.
You're
We're
right.
preparing for our Lord and Savior rising, and that's what he's dropping.
Good Friday, but don't forget about Shit Thursday.
That'll be the new holiday.
Well,
Poor Kevin.
it's just, no, you're right.
My
Seriously.
man is rattled.
I need
Sorry,
a therapy
Kevin.
session.
Sorry you had to experience that.
That was tough. Got
Hashtag poo too.
yeah,
Me poo.
me poo. A bunch of your emails here. Doug sent one in. He said, Kev, I was listening to the show about how to slip by security. When I was with the county, a sheriff told me the best way is just a pair of dress shoes, dark brown knee socks, brown shorts, and a brown button-up shirt with a brown baseball cap. Then carry a clipboard and you'll be asked very few questions. Just be the UPS guy. And, I thought about that, and that always kind of was our thing. And I got to tell you, I think that people have been saying that for so long now, and people have been using that for so long now. And I think this story with that dude in New York City that was dressed as a construction worker with the utility hat and the vest.
Yeah.
I think now it's actually going to be the opposite. That if you have that on and you look like you're just a run-of-the-mill worker or you do security or something like that, you're going to stand out more than blend in. People will ask you more questions rather than less questions.
Why do you have all that gear on now? Because you're not working yet.
Right.
Yeah. New Yorkers especially are going to be real jumpy.
Yeah, they're going to watch and be like, hey, if you don't look like you're on your way to your job, be like, what do you got going on there, man? It's just, I think that it's actually, I think this story is going to turn the tide on doing that, trying to evade security. Instead, you make, what are you doing there? You got a clipboard? Like, what's on your clipboard?
But honestly, though, this story will get out of the media. You'll forget about it, and people, we kind of make the joke about a clipboard can get you anywhere. That's true. If you look like you're official and you look like you know what you're doing in a situation, most people will not question you.
I think they have, but I think there are stories that do turn the tide on the way we view things in society. And I know that's always been the standard. That's my thought. I think it's going to start turning a bit. I think that you might start questioning somebody because that's what a lot of these people now are doing. They're trying to just fake to look like they're in a position of authority. And I have a feeling that they're going to start, whether it be lanyards or whatever it might be, that they're going to start coming up with something. And I bet security venues are going to start saying, look for anybody trying to act like they're an official. Because that's
Right.
what they do. They look at the stories in the news and they brief their people that work security for them and say, we've got to be on the lookout for people that are trying to act or make it look like they're official. And here's the only thing that they can have that'll make them look official. Don't go on a clipboard, a vest, a hard hat, anything. If they don't have this, they ain't nothing.
I do see a problem though if people all of a sudden they start confronting people that are official and they don't know and they want to. I can see some people saying that's profiling too. It's a dicey area.
Yeah, but no, you've got to be like, look, I mean, if you are an official and you don't have your lanyard or whatever that screams, I am official and part of this project, then yeah, you should welcome when somebody questions you.
Yeah, perfect world, my friend.
And I think they'll be like, sorry, man. You know, if you have something on, we're going to question everybody. That's just what good security does. Because would you rather ask somebody a question or would you rather have 20 people dead?
True.
Yeah. He also says about finding things in the butt. My friend was an orderly when he was young, and he said this guy came in the hospital with an old glass Coke bottle stuck on his penis. They had to rotate doctors and nurses because everybody could not stop laughing.
Oh man, that's rough.
In the end, they had to break the glass to get it off. Fortunately, no stitches. Whoa.
There's nothing fortunate about that story. So he tried to fuck a Coke bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got thin peen. He's got TP. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
you don't
look,
want to brag
That's
about
a
that
real
for,
thin
for
peen.
many reasons.
I mean, that's about the size of a right there. I mean,
no, you don't want to let anybody know that. Now, if you got your dick stuck in a coffee can, I'd tell the world.
oh yeah, that's completely different.
Everybody would know. I'd be like, you know, the craziest thing, I'm trying to fuck a coffee can, and I wound up in the hospital because it got stuck.
That, and I'm not.
No, that you don't brag about.
I'm not de-shaming, but that's
not good.
That's a rough case of pencil dick.
It's not a good look. Yeah, you're right. That'd be about a Coke bottle.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Man, people do some fucked up things when they're horny, man.
People are ridiculously dumb.
Well, I think the horniness just takes over some people. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so, let me fuck this bottle. Oh! I just think people go crazy.
This story from Christina. She said, I was listening to the show yesterday. I heard y'all talking about people who are on social media talking trash and arguing with somebody and pushing them to their breaking point, and then that person will come after them. You know, also the road rage thing is crazy. And many people have mentioned Unhinged with Russell Crowe.
Yes.
They say it'll make you think twice before you honk your horn at anybody under the age of 75.
I gotta watch that now because that movie keeps getting brought up. Did you like it, Virginia?
I didn't see it, but I know the whole premise. I watched the previews of it. It looked horrifying. But yeah, it does make you think, you know, do I really want to do anything in traffic? I'm just going to be cool breeze over here.
Even with social media, man, we don't hear about it that often, but it is. There are people reading comments and then driving to people's houses to fight them.
Well, what's going to happen if I get cut off? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing's going to happen, so why would I get mad? If I get cut off in traffic, how does that affect my life in any way other than 1 second in that moment, I got to hit the brakes. After that, it's not in my life anymore. So why am I going to let that one possible exchange with some crazy person end my life?
But you're saying that in a calm room with things going good in your life, and you know what I mean? What happens
But you
is...
got to keep telling yourself that
I
over
agree.
and over. And even when you find yourself in the moment, come back to this moment where you told yourself you weren't going to fall into that trap of getting angry because it's stupid.
I'm not making excuses, of course not. But let's just paint a scenario. Your wife is cheating on you. You're already a little unhinged anyway. You just lost your job too, and this prick cuts you off, and now is flipping the middle finger. And you also your cheeseburger got messed up. You're gonna blow a gasket.
Cheeseburger too.
Again, I'm not excusing the behavior. I'm just saying there are some people that they ain't gonna fucking. Oh, you know what? Let me get calm for a second. My wife is fucking John. You know what I mean?
John has a
Hog.
coffee can stopping up dick.
It ain't gonna fit in a Coke bottle.
Yeah, his dick's name is O-Face. It's that great.
We got Avalardo saying, I want to let you know, Bird, that I've been watching some serial killer documentaries, such as the Night Stalker and Mine Hunters, and I needed to stop. I had to take a break from them because it got me so paranoid. I was having a hard time sleeping at night. I just don't know how you're able to watch them all the time. Which one has stuck around and freaked you out the most?
I've seen so many of them, and some of the ones that have freaked me out the most are ones that they're not really nationally known. They may have 4 or 5 kills under their belt, but the way they did it, and they're so disturbing. Well, I don't even want to repeat the questions. If you look into BTK, his first round of murders were pretty fucking disturbing. Ed Kemper's another one that's pretty horrifying. It'll stay with you. Ed Kemper ended up, his last kill was his mother and her best friend.
Oh, Ed.
And he ended up doing some terrible things to her severed head.
His mother?
What?
His mother, yeah.
Wow.
He was the co-ed killer. He was about 6'7", big motherfucker. Yeah, and turned himself in.
Really?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder in those kind of things, what happens? Are some people born evil?
She was, if you look in the history of an Edward Kemper, his mother was a fucking ball busting. He suffered from a lot of, I think, verbal abuse, and she always would call him stupid and dumb. And I think he would kind of take it out, that rage he had with his mother on the women he would kill.
Damn.
So what would you say? Are serial killers made or are they born? And could you have both? Where some just,
I think it's that, Kevin.
Imagine you're born, you grow up in a loving family with great parents. They're awesome. You have siblings and they become big successes and they do things for the community and they're upstanding people. And then you've just got one devil. And they grew up and were raised the same way. Nobody was diddling them. They weren't abused physically or verbally.
If you look into a Jeffrey Dahmer case, I mean, for the most part, the guy had a normal childhood, and he ate people. He was a cannibal. I mean, one of the most fucked up cases of all time right there.
But he had no abuse, no nothing.
No. He they had a pretty mild-mannered type of, his mom and dad were it wasn't anything so over the top where you turn into a cannibal and start killing motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm
like
just,
Ted Bundy's mom. Ted Bundy grew up thinking he had a sister, but the whole time his sister was really his mother, and he found that out, the truth, I think around 13 or 14. That I can see fucking with somebody's head, but to the point where you kill people. But your whole life you thought your mother was your sister, and you find out that your mother, or your sister's your mother. It's very confusing.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
His sister was his mother.
How did you just make it more confusing?
I'm fucked up. I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, that to me would just be on a case by case. What do you find in their history? Can you put it back to things that happened to them, or are there just nasty people that are just born that way and they come right out of the uterus ready to just bring hell upon the world?
I think there are people like that. I think, well, just think about any kind of things people struggle with when they're born with it. There's so many elements out there. Why is somebody being slightly off with empathy and sympathy and all those type of things that most humans have? Maybe they just weren't born with that in their brain. You know, I think we're all born on a spectrum of certain abilities and traits that we have, and maybe some of these people that are born, they just don't have that.
You're born without empathy.
Yes, and that's a big thing they always talk about.
Yeah.
But I think the perfect storm is someone that's born like that, and then they are raised in a fucked up situation. You have a monster then.
Yeah. All right.
I love talking murder, Kev. Nice.
I know you do.
You perk up.
He does.
Talk about food and murder, and this guy is like so in it.
It is. Both of them.
I love murdering food.
Yeah.
I've seen it. He'll kill a pizza.
I will.
Eric, thank you for this very nice, flattering email. He says, every time Kevin mentions the fact that he and the Mexican Queen aren't getting it on like ever, I can't help but think it's got to be a bit for the show. I mean, I'm a 22-year-old straight dude, and the mere thought of thee, Kevin Ralston, is enough to have me pitch in a tent in broad daylight.
Well.
I mean, seriously, Queen. Have you seen the video of him working out? Greek God.
Wow.
Again, fully straight, but I feel like the John Stamos rules apply to Kevin. Straight or not, you want a fucking slice. So please, Mexican Queen, ride the Kevin like the stallion that he is. And Kevin, I want to play your butt like jazz. Okay. Thank you. That's very flattering and very nice.
I think there's a bunch of people in our audience that would suck that D. Of course, that's not the right thing.
It's not the right thing, but they do tell me they do want to suck that D.
Yeah, and I always say that as an ego boost. That look.
Yeah.
I bet if you do one of those polls, those things.
The poll about your poll?
The voting.
Yeah.
Who in this audience wants to suck Kevin's D? If he wasn't married, numbers to the roof.
Yeah.
Through the
Chamber
roof.
definitely votes yes.
I'm not going to be the only
I
straight
think
guy.
I get more guys than girls.
Yeah, that's not true.
Okay.
I'm always hearing, oh, Kevin Ralston's a tasty snack.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate that. So nice. It's a nice little ego boost.
If you meet Eric out in public, let's say Eric comes to Crawfish Festival.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev, I was that guy that said I'd suck your dick.
Let's go in the porta
I'm
potty.
all right with that. I'm okay with it.
I don't think it'll be weird.
Yeah.
I can find you a private bathroom, Kevin.
You know, I can hang. Yeah, I can hang with that guy more than the guy that just hit me with his shit dust.
Whoa, look at this. A Michael T. Brown, I'd hit it. And Anders voting yes to sucking the D.
Like I said, I think I get more guys.
It's not
Well,
one.
you should see me at Pride Fest, man.
There isn't one woman on here.
Yeah.
At Pride Fest, they were eating you up with a spoon.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Kevin
yeah.
was the parade.
He was the star.
It was rough.
I was sad
Yeah.
that we had too many people on our float. We had
People- yeah.
we had way too many people on our float because when you invite one gay person, they invite 10 of their friends.
Yeah.
No can travel.
I had KVJ
alone.
Nation are saying, Bird, why weren't you on the float? And I'm like, I was. I just
was.
couldn't see
There
me.
was 8,000 people on the float. So
Kevin went so hard that he had to delete photos the next day.
Yeah, I did. I was like, ooh.
Ooh.
Kevin was the parade.
I was, yes. It was up and down. Got a question about love and romance here. Is it ever a good idea to continue seeing somebody who you want to be exclusive with, but they aren't exclusive with you? It's a long distance situation, and they say that, and will admit that they are sleeping with somebody where they live, and they say because you are not here. But they say when I move there in the near future, that could change. That should be within weeks to a month. The first thing I would say is, unless you're moving there already, has nothing to do with them, I would not move to somebody you're not exclusive with, hoping that when you get there, they'll become exclusive with you.
No.
The other question, too, is it's a question everyone's going to ask themselves. Are you okay with him doing this? Or are you okay with she doing this? And if you're not, there's your answer.
I said, I just feel like I don't think I can move forward. I'm disappointed that he can't commit at the same level. Makes me feel like it shows that he cannot be trusted. So close to moving here, and then you have to hook up. Cannot commit wholly, at least not to me.
Okay, well, you're answering every one of your questions. This is not your
Yeah.
situation. And I will say he's at least being upfront about it. So you know
Right, yeah.
the
True.
situation. So it's now
I'll
up
give
to
him credit
you.
on that. Hey,
Yeah.
he's being forthright, and so hey, you know what lies ahead of you, and
But
Unless you want to be somebody's third or fourth choice, this
Yeah.
is not the man for you. Now, if you want to go out there and be a gigolo and have your fun too and date 4 or 5 different guys, then
Yeah.
it could work. But if you're putting all your eggs in this basket and this guy being your forever and exclusive when you move there, I think that's a dream that won't happen.
he doesn't respect you in that way. He doesn't look at you in that way. Because if you truly are into somebody and you really have the butterfly
Yeah.
and you want to go through a wall for them,
Yeah.
you're not fucking other people.
He might
Unless
not
you-
be in the headspace where he's ready to settle down.
And that's why you need to go ahead and if this was me, I would break up. Because your heart is so in it and his isn't.
Yeah.
And he's also in other people.
Yeah.
That's not a situation most people want to be in.
And why are you moving there? Are you moving there for him? Or are you moving there for a job? What's the real reason? If you're moving there for him, I think it's a bad idea.
And there's some people who are able to handle this kind of stuff. They're like, you know what? We're not here. He's not living here. We're not exclusive, but I like him enough. It sounds like you're having a tough time handling it, which you're not abnormal. Most people would have a tough time with this.
sure, yeah.
Plus, if you know all these people are sleeping with each other, I'm always thinking, is everyone using protection? How do you know who she's sleeping with? When you got all that in the mix, you have so many other people you have to trust.
Yeah.
No?
You don't know them.
No.
You never even probably seen the chicks that he's banging on the weekends.
Yep.
You would know if he's having a threesome
You don't.
with Mindy and Cindy. Oh, and they get
And
fucked.
Kevin.
They get freaked
Right.
out. Oh, Kevin will just walk in the room and
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'd touch Kevin on the back. Hey, Kev.
Sorry about that. You need a towel?
Clean up on aisle 4.
Okay, bye.
Anne said, my family thinks it's completely unreasonable that I've grounded my 10-year-old daughter off of her iPad. When she got the iPad, there was 3 rules, and it was do not download an app without me first checking it out and approving it, no internet use without permission, and no chatting websites without permission. Now, that does not sound unreasonable to me. Well, this weekend, my daughter was having a problem with her iPad, and when I asked her to see it, she wouldn't hand it over. Curious, I come to find out that she had downloaded an app without approval from me. Not only that, but it has a chat involved with it. I think she is too young to be getting on these apps where she could chat with anybody. Am I in the wrong?
I 110% agree with the person writing.
You're not in the wrong. These electronics need to come with rules, and the rules are in place to protect your kids. That's your job. If they don't like it, they can suck it.
And I'm telling you, not to be a Debbie Downer, there are a lot of pervy predators on these sites.
That's true.
And there's no shortage of these motherfuckers trying to get luring kids. It's a crime to lure a kid out of their house if you're not their parent.
And they pose as kids. And these kids think they're talking to other kids, and they're not.
Sometimes they don't even, honestly, Virginia, all of the ones that I watch, what they'll do is they'll tell the person, I'm 14 or I'm about to turn 13, and the responses back are just disgusting. Oh, I like it young. I like you. These are dudes that are married, that have wives, and then these people that bust them, they make them call the wife. Right live there on the speaker. But then the wife, her life is ruined.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
She needs to know what she's with.
she does, and I got mixed feelings about all that because I like seeing predators go down. I don't like seeing the wife. I don't like seeing the kids. You know, they have lives, and just because one person's doing something bad doesn't mean the whole family's got to go down.
It's not fair that,
No.
their lives are blown up.
Yeah, and they really do. All these videos are still on YouTube. I'm kind of shocked that there's not more pushback of getting some of this stuff taken down. I don't know.
Well, they are getting to that point. You know, there's things where Congress is meeting, talking about social media and the effect that it has on kids. And I was just reading an article yesterday. They were talking about the generational sadness of Gen Z and why it seems like they seem to be more sad and depressed than generations that came before them. And how they know that is, when we were Gen Xers and they were doing case studies on us, and then millennials, and then Gen Z, and they're saying, wow, we're noticing a pattern where these kids are saying things and they're talking about how they're unhappy a lot more than generations that came before them. And why is that? And social media was one of it. Their lack of social interaction with other kids, going out in nature and running around like we used to do when we were kids. We played outside a lot more.
Social media, I really think is a big one. When you're growing up, everything gets to you.
You're right.
You're growing up. Even if you have 9 people telling you you're awesome, it takes one person to go, you look fat, Virginia. What the fuck is up with that chin?
Yeah.
You're 12 years old. I'm sorry. There's a lot of kids that are going to have a tough time with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. I know.
Does my chin look fat?
No, I was talking about little Virginia when you were 12. I was talking to her.
Oh, you wouldn't have been able to see past her buck teeth to see her chin because that is the first damn thing you would have noticed.
Damn, you are hating on yourself like Twitter on your young self.
I was like, that Easter bunny would have been like, damn.
Okay, but let's take you back. 12-year-old Virginia with buck teeth. You go on social media reading 9 comments about how you have buck teeth, and look how bucky fucky over here.
It would have probably put me in a pretty deep depression.
I'm telling you.
Because the great thing about how bad my teeth were, I didn't realize. I didn't know that my teeth were figgity fucked.
Well,
and now when I go back and look at pictures of me from middle school, I'm like, I should have been made fun of more. I got these 2 teeth. One of them's long, one of them's not. Like, they were a mess.
Weight's always been a sensitive thing in my family. We love to eat, and one comment to somebody could wreck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people are just sensitive people. And I know the answer is, oh, fucking grow a pair, get tough, you fucking snowflake. Not everyone's built to be tough.
No, you're right. We have that even in my family and across kids. I know how you can talk to each one of them, and some of them have a little thicker skin than some of the others. And also with each kid, I know what the hot buttons are, and you don't joke about certain things with each child, and they're different for each one.
List them.
No way.
Just kidding.
Like, I'm against being a snowflake. I don't want people to be snowflakes, but we also have to act like saying mean shit to people doesn't affect people. Because it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I think we probably all have that little hole in our armor
Oh, yeah.
that, if somebody mentions it.
Mine's my fat chin.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Kevin, tell Virginia she looks young, beautiful. We love her dirt. Her fucking chin rocks.
Now I got to get chin lipo.
Shitting.
Yeah. She'll have her appointment before the end of this podcast.
If you come in here with a fucking bandage on your chin,
I'm going to come in here with a new chinny chin chin on Monday.
you come with a beautiful cleft chin.
It's going to be gorgeous.
Got an email, social media fun stuff. We did some digital drama earlier today. This is a post that Todd had seen from a dude named Darren in Hobe Sound. It says, for a change today, I went to the McDonald's drive-thru for a senior's coffee, and the young lady behind me leaned on her home because she decided I was taking too... Oh, okay.
Leaned on her horn, I think.
Leaned on her horn. Okay, yeah, sorry, the text there is not clear. Because she decided I was taking too long to place my order.
Damn.
And she was handy with giving me the finger.
Wow.
Take the high road, I thought to myself. So when I got to the first window, I paid for her order along with my own. The cashier must have told her what I'd done because as we moved up, she leaned out her window and waved to me and mouthed, "Thank you," obviously embarrassed that I had repaid her rudeness with a kindness.
Damn.
Then when I got to the second window, I showed them both receipts and I took her food. Now she has to go back to the end of the line and start all over again. Fuck you, B.
You're diabolical.
That's something, huh?
That is something. No, they remade her food, and they were all laughing hard at her. But they remade her food as she sat there. She didn't have to go back around.
So there you go. All right. Thank you very much for all the emails. You can always send them to us, mail@kvjshow.com.
We want to thank our friends at Atoll Vodka. They are amazing. They created a custom drink called the Pink Pony at Crazy Horse.
Ride that pony, pony.
Ride it. And Atoll Vodka is easy to pick up for yourself. You can go online to mashandgrape.com.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.